Lorene Squire was born in Harper, Kansas in 1910. She graduated from Kansas University in 1932 and started her professional career shortly thereafter. And she actually published her own book in 1938. Before that, though, she did publish her own photos at the age of 15 in Nature magazine. So she started her career quite young, and apparently her interest in photography all started while she was out duck shooting with her uncle, and she had very little success, so she turned to using a camera. Lorene Squire was very familiar to readers of the Beaver during the 1930s and 1940s. She specialized in wildlife photography. She was one of several photographers being sent north by the Beaver magazine to document the HBC's activities there. This tied into the HBC's renewed interest in cementing their corporate image, and part of that corporate image was specifically their positive role in the North. Part of what stands out about Lorene's work is not just what the photos are of, but her style of presentation. They're on generally oversized, on high-quality paper, and she signed and captioned everything. So they never fail to impress people who aren't familiar with her work. They come out of the box and everybody's like, oh wow. So the first photos Lorene took for the company were in 1937, and she was basically focusing on wildlife in northern Alberta, northern Manitoba, and northern Saskatchewan. And these are what she was known for. Her second assignment was actually in the eastern and western Arctics, and according to the Beaver, she was the first woman photographer that covered both eastern and western Arctics in 1 year. Her assignment was to document life in the North, everyday aspects of company business, and this is what she did. So starting up in the Mackenzie Delta, and this is where we are fortunate enough to have a photograph of Lorene in a duck blind. And so some of these shots she got were great. She definitely got the company at work. This is a boat pulling up to the Nescaupi to unload cargo. Very atmospheric. But she also got a photograph of HBC employees chatting in a post room. So this is Alex Smith and J.W. Anderson at Ponds Inlet, and both those names would have been familiar. I think the largest reason she's so unknown is that she actually died at the age of 32. She was, at the time, being used in Life, the Beaver magazine, the Saturday Evening Post, Canadian Geographic. So we have letters between Lorene Squire and the editors of the Beaver, but also with her family after she passed away. And one of the letters that always makes me a little sad is when Clifford Wilson, who was editor at the Beaver at the time, first heard of her death. And he writes that several of us knew her personally, the rest knew of her through the magnificent photographs which we have been privileged to publish from time to time in the Beaver. Through her work with us, she had become almost a part of the company, and many of our fur traders had great admiration for the way she could stand up to all sorts of hardship. If you were here today, you would be touched, I am sure, by the expressions of sincere sorrow which are heard all over the building. We are very aware of the quality of these photographs, and they were one of the first collections we decided to highlight on our website, as we are now actually mounting digitized records as well as the finding aids. And one of my hopes as an archivist who works with these photographs is that maybe someone out there will recognize the name or her work and let us know of other examples, maybe in another archive where her work might be, because we know she created much more than what we have, and I feel that they have to be somewhere. But it's really hard to find any other mention of her besides on a few websites such as Life that who are documenting their own photographers.